Hi, Casas Adobe's families. Pastor John here, and I have our family message for Sunday. And, the messages in the gospel have been really good, and I'm very excited about this one. Have you ever heard the term take up your cross? What does that mean? Um, this is a pretty little cross, and it's easy to take up. But what does it mean to take up your cross? Well, we have a couple of stories in the Bible today that we're going to be talking about what it means to take up your cross. And so the first story is a story from the Gospel of Matthew, and Matthew says that Jesus was there talking with his friends, and Jesus was saying, some really bad things are going to happen to me if I continue on this path. Um, some very, very bad things are going to happen, and I'm probably going to die. But you know what? I'll come back. And his friends didn't really understand what he's talking about. But Peter, who we learned last week, the rock, Peter says, "Oh no, I hope that doesn't happen. I really, don't want anything to happen to you." And Jesus says, "Get behind me, Satan." In other words, he's like, "Go away. Don't be saying that stuff, you devil." Um, and it sounds kind of harsh because Peter, I think, really cared for Jesus and didn't want to see anything happen to him. But Jesus knew that if he kept doing what he was doing, helping the poor, and then talking about, letting people on the outsides in, working to help people get healed, and to be with people who've been on the outside, that he would get killed. And that's what happened. And what he's saying is, Peter, you know, have you guys ever heard that saying, when the going gets tough, the tough get going? It's kind of an old saying, but that's really what Jesus is telling Peter. He's saying it's going to get really hard, and when it gets hard, that's when you really need to keep going. It's not about taking the easy road, it's about taking the hard road. And then Jesus talks about taking up your cross. And that means being willing to do the hard stuff and the stuff that's scary. But in the end, that's what really helps us grow as people and helps us do things God's way. The second story comes once again from Paul and his letter to the Romans. And so we wonder, does uh, how do we do things the hard way? And so Paul gives us kind of a listing of doing things the hard way, different ways we can take up our cross. So here are a few. Paul says, let love be real. Hate bad things, hold on to good things. Try and outdo everyone in how much you love people. Don't be grumpy, but be powerful and keep moving forward. Even though you are tired and even though it's hard, keep moving forward. There's hope, there's prayer, and even though things are bad, be patient. Be good to the people who are in your community, and be hospitable to people who are outside your community. Bless those who are cursing you. In other words, be nice to your enemies. And this is the really hard part, because when we are nice to people who are mean to us, Paul says it's like pouring hot coals on their head because you don't know what to do. I mean, imagine somebody being mean, like on Twitter, and saying really mean things, and you don't respond. Okay, it just sort of leaves that mean person out there to hang, and you are the better person because you don't respond. And how much better it is to try and understand the mean person who is doing things to you. So, and then of course, if someone is hungry, feed them. If they are thirsty, give them something to drink, because when we fight things that are bad, then the bad things are overcome. And it's hard. It's taking up our cross. Nobody said that being nice to people who are mean is an easy thing, or doing all those things that Paul listed. And this is what Jesus is talking about, because sometimes God's way is the hard way. So this is what we're going to be talking about on Sunday, and we will discuss more about it. So that's our lesson topic about taking up your cross, doing things the hard way. So be safe, be well, be a blessing, and think about what cross you would take up in order to further God's way. All right. I'll see you then. Peace.